In the vast universe of video games, sci-fi titles often dominate with blockbuster epics like Mass Effect or Cyberpunk 2077, but hidden in the shadows are true gems, overlooked masterpieces that blend innovative mechanics, gripping narratives, and mind-bending worlds without the hype. Today we're diving into 10 such games that deserve way more spotlight. From dystopian arenas to interdimensional horrors, these aren't your mainstream fare, but they're packed with creativity that could redefine the genre. Kicking off our list at number 10 is Rollerdrome, a 2022 adrenaline-fueled hybrid that mashes roller derby chaos with twin-stick shooter precision in a retro-futuristic world gone mad. Imagine a near future where corporate overlords have turned human suffering into spectacle. You're the new recruit in the brutal Rollerdrome League, where survival means skating circles around genetically enhanced opponents while unloading an arsenal of smart pistols, grenades, and ricochet blades. What sets Rollerdrome apart is its seamless blend of mobility and combat. Every grind, flip, and boost isn't just flair, it's your ticket to dodging incoming fire and lining up impossible trick shots. The levels evolve from derelict stadiums to sprawling orbital platforms, each demanding split-second decisions that reward aggressive playstyles over button mashing. The narrative, delivered through terse radio chatter and propaganda broadcasts, paints a cynical portrait of entertainment as warfare, where victories buy fleeting freedoms in a surveillance state. Graphically, it's a love letter to cel-shaded aesthetics, with vibrant arenas that pop against the void of space. Sound design amps the thrill. Crackling energy weapons sync perfectly with the whoosh of skates on rails. At around 8 hours for the campaign, it's concise yet replayable, with score-chasing modes that keep you hooked. Rollerdrome proves sci-fi doesn't need sprawling galaxies to captivate. Sometimes a single, savage arena is enough to redefine action gaming. If you crave velocity with a side of dystopian bite, this one's your speed. Literally. Sliding into number 9 is Abiotic Factor, the 2024 early access darling that turns the Black Site Research Facility trope into a survival sandbox of cosmic horror and bureaucratic absurdity. You're a humble lab rat, literally. One of many scientists trapped when an interdimensional gate experiment rips open reality's seams. Suddenly your sterile workspace crawls with entities from beyond, spectral wisps that phase through walls, biomechanical horrors that adapt to your traps, and time-warping anomalies that loop your screams eternally. The genius here lies in its depth. Crafting isn't an afterthought, it's core to outsmarting the unknown. MacGyver laser turrets from vending machine parts, brew mutagenic serums to gain temporary claws, or fortify your bunker with jury-rigged force fields. Multiplayer shines in co-op, where roles emerge organically. One player hacks security drones, while another distracts a hulking flesh beast. The world feels alive and indifferent, with dynamic events like containment breaches, flooding halls with toxic fog, or rival survivor factions raiding your supplies. Narrative unfolds through audio logs and scrawled notes, revealing a conspiracy of hubris-fueled experiments that mirror real-world fears of unchecked science. Visually, it's a gritty blend of realism and the uncanny. Shadows twist unnaturally, and entity designs evoke dread without relying on jump scares. With procedural generation ensuring no two runs are alike, Abiotic Factor captures that elusive, just one more night loop. It's sci-fi survival elevated, not about brute force, but ingenuity against the abyss. Grab your lab coat, the breach awaits. Rounding out our top half at number 8 is Meet Your Maker, Behavior Interactive's 2022 asymmetrical masterpiece that flips the base builder genre into a sadistic sci-fi arms race. In a ravaged world where a plague has turned humanity into ravenous gene fab addicts, you play as a custodian, scavenging the bones of civilization to construct impenetrable fortresses guarding precious genetic resources. But it's not just building, it's sadistic engineering meets permadeath raids, where your traps must outwit flesh-hungry hordes and rival players alike. The hook? Total creative freedom laced with lethality. Stockpile bones to forge spike walls that impale on contact, rig Tesla coils to arc lightning through corridors, or deploy Guardian minions, hulking brutes programmed to flank and eviscerate. Online modes pit your death maze against global creators, with raids lasting mere minutes but demanding hours of iteration. Offline, procedural campaigns challenge you to breach enemy layers, honing your trap spotting skills for the multiplayer meat grinder. The lore weaves a grim tapestry of corporate apocalypse, where survival means exploiting the decayed remnants of biotech empires. Aesthetically, it's a desolate beauty. Rusting megastructures loom under perpetual thunder, with particle effects making every giblet explosion visceral. Audio cues, distant moans building to frantic scrambles heighten the tension. At its core, Meet Your Maker is about the joy of creation through destruction, a sci-fi echo of real engineering puzzles wrapped in emergent storytelling. It's overlooked because it defies easy labels, but for tinkerers who love watching foes unravel in their own web, this is pure, punishing poetry.
At number 7, Hardspace Shipbreaker from 2020 delivers a sci-fi workplace simulator with soul-crushing stakes and serene beauty. You're a shipbreaker, a blue-collar spacer dismantling massive wrecks for a megacorp that owns your oxygen, tools, and even your DNA. Every shift is a high-stakes puzzle. Carve reactors without triggering meltdowns, salvage thrusters before hulls collapse, and manage dwindling air supplies, all while dodging debt collectors in the stars. The gameplay's tactile brilliance lies in its physics-driven salvage. Grapple cables let you yank panels into smelters, while laser cutters demand precision to avoid explosive mishaps. Each ship, from cramped shuttles to labyrinthine freighters, feels handcrafted, with randomized interiors keeping you on edge. The narrative unfolds via radio banter and union whispers, exposing a dystopian grind where workers are disposable cogs. Visually, it's a cosmic junkyard ballet. Gleaming hulls fracture into showers of sparks against infinite black. The lo-fi synth soundtrack hums with melancholy, grounding the existential dread of indentured labor. With 20-hour campaigns and endless contracts, it's meditative yet tense, blending Zen deconstruction with capitalist critique. Hardspace Shipbreaker turns menial labor into sci-fi poetry, proving even the grimiest jobs can shine in the right light. If you love methodical chaos, this is your orbit. Number 6 is Transistor, Supergiant Games' 2014 gem that weaves cyberpunk noir with tactical RPG brilliance. You play as Red, a singer stripped of her voice, wielding the Transistor, a sentient soul-trapping blade in a city unraveling to a digital plague called The Process. It's a love story, a mystery, and a fight for identity in a world where code rewrites reality. Combat is a masterclass in strategy. Blend real-time slashes with a turn function, freezing time to chain attacks like a hacker scripting chaos. Abilities, from cloaking dashes to explosive bursts, are modular, letting you remix builds for devastating combos. The narrative, delivered through the Transistor's mournful voice, your lost lover, unravels Cloudbank's collapse via cryptic terminals and Red's silent defiance. Visually, it's a painterly cyberpunk dream. Neon spires bleed into watercolor skies, with every frame a screenshot-worthy tableau. The jazzy, vocal-infused soundtrack by Darren Korb is hauntingly intimate, syncing perfectly with Red's hummed responses. At 6 to 8 hours, it's tight yet replayable, with new game modes deepening the challenge. Transistor's overlooked for its quiet ambition, but its blend of heart, style, and depth makes it a sci-fi triumph. If you crave emotional tactics, Red's Song awaits. Crashing in at number 5 is Returnal, Housemarque's 2021 roguelike that fuses psychological horror with bullet hell intensity on a time-looping alien world. You're Celine, a stranded astronaut on Atropos, a planet where death restarts the cycle but warps reality. Every run unravels her fractured psyche through haunting audio logs and surreal visions, blending sci-fi with cosmic dread. Gameplay is relentless. Third-person shooting demands lightning reflexes as you dodge neon barrages from grotesque fauna. Weapons like the Hollow Seeker evolve with traits like homing projectiles, while alien tech, parasites, and artifacts grants buffs with brutal trade-offs like faster dashes but slower healing. Procedural biomes, from overgrown ruins to desert wastes, keep runs unpredictable with permadeath forcing creative adaptation. The narrative, cryptic yet gripping, explores trauma and inevitability, making each loop feel personal. Visually, Atropos is a nightmare kaleidoscope. Particle effects explode in chaotic beauty, with rain-slicked ruins glowing under alien skies. The 3D audio and pulse-pounding score amplify tension, making every encounter visceral. At 20 to 30 hours to complete, its replayability is endless. Returnal's intensity scared off casual players, but for those who embrace its punishing brilliance, it's a sci-fi roguelike masterpiece. Dare to crash again?
At number 4, Mad Max from 2015 is an open-world sci-fi epic that captures the post-apocalyptic grid of George Miller's universe with surprising depth. You're Max Rockatansky, a lone survivor in a ravaged wasteland, scavenging for fuel and scrap to build the ultimate war machine while battling psychotic warlords like Scrotus. It's vehicular carnage meets survivalist sci-fi, grounded in desperation. Gameplay blends brutal melee, think Arkham-style brawling with crowbars and shivs, with vehicular mayhem. Customize the Interceptor with flamethrowers, harpoons, or armor, then ram through enemy convoys in thunderous chases. The open world, from toxic seas to dune graveyards, feels alive with dynamic storms and roaming gangs. Side quests, like liberating outposts or sniping fuel tanks, weave a tale of survival over tyranny. Visually, it's a scorched masterpiece. Dust swirls choke the air, and sunsets burn with apocalyptic dread. The sound design, from roaring V8s to crunching metal, is pure adrenaline. At 30 to 40 hours, it's expansive yet focused. Mad Max was overshadowed by flashier releases, but its raw vehicular chaos and desolate beauty make it a sci-fi standout. Rev up and claim the wastes.
Landing at number 3 is Prey, Arcane Studios' 2017 immersive sim that redefines sci-fi horror with cerebral depth. You're Morgan Yu, aboard the Talos 1 space station, where a failed experiment unleashes mimics, alien shapeshifters that mimic objects to ambush you. Armed with a wrench, neuromods, and wits, you unravel a conspiracy tying human ambition to extraterrestrial doom. Gameplay is freedom incarnate. Blend stealth, combat, or psychic powers like telekinesis to tackle challenges. Turn into a mug to slip through vents, hack turrets, or brute force with a shotgun. The station's interconnected design rewards exploration, with every lab and airlock hiding lore or upgrades. Choices shape the narrative, save survivors, or sacrifice them, making each run personal. Visually, Talos 1 is a retro-futuristic masterpiece, blending 1960s elegance with alien decay. The haunting synth score and skittering mimic sounds amplify paranoia. At 15-25 hours, it's dense with secrets, from hidden endings to side quests uncovering corporate betrayal. Prey's overlooked for its slow burn complexity, but its blend of player agency and psychological dread makes it a sci-fi gem. If you love outsmarting the unknown, Talos 1 calls. At number 2, Metro Exodus from 2019 expands the claustrophobic Metro series into a sprawling sci-fi odyssey. You're Artyom, a survivor fleeing Moscow's irradiated tunnels aboard the Aurora, a steam train cutting through a world ravaged by nuclear fallout. Seeking a new home, you face mutants, bandits, and factions clinging to scraps of humanity. Gameplay balances linear storytelling with open-world freedom. Scavenge for ammo to craft gas mask filters, or customize rifles for stealth or firepower. Dynamic weather, blizzards, sandstorms, shift encounters, while day-night cycles demand strategy. From Volga's flooded ruins to Caspian's deserts, each region feels alive, with side stories fleshing out a broken world. The narrative, driven by Artyom's silent resolve and crew banter, explores hope amid despair. Visually, it's stunning. Sunlight pierces toxic fog, and mutant designs are grotesque yet grounded. The immersive soundscape, from creaking train cars to howling beasts, pulls you in. At 20 to 30 hours, it's a meaty journey with multiple endings based on your choices. Metro Exodus was eclipsed by flashier shooters, but its gritty survival and emotional weight make it a sci-fi triumph. Board the Aurora and survive. Taking the top spot is Stalker 2: Heart of Chernobyl, GSC Game World's 2024 masterpiece that elevates its cult classic roots into a sci-fi survival epic. You're a stalker in the zone, a radioactive wasteland warped by alien anomalies after Chernobyl. Hunt artifacts, dodge anomalies, and navigate factions vying for control in a world that fights back. Gameplay is unforgiving. Open-world exploration meets hardcore survival. Scavenge for ammo, manage radiation poisoning, and barter for gear while anomalies shift reality. Gravity traps crush bones, and psychic fields twist minds. Faction dynamics mean every choice ripples, from aiding scientists to betraying bandits. The narrative, delivered through cryptic logs and NPC tales, weaves existential dread with human resilience. Visually, the zone is breathtaking. Overgrown ruins glow under auroras with ray-traced lighting amplifying realism. The soundscape, from Geiger counter clicks to distant mutant roars, is immersive terror.
At 40+ hours, it's vast, with replayable quests and dynamic events. Stalker 2's brutal learning curve kept it niche, but its raw atmosphere and depth make it sci-fi's unsung king. Brave the zone. It's worth every scar. There you have it, 10 overlooked sci-fi games that deserve your attention, from Roller Drum's kinetic arenas to Stalker 2's haunting zone. These titles prove innovation thrives off the beaten path, blending bold mechanics with unforgettable worlds. Miss one you love? Drop it in the comments. Hit that like button if you're inspired to play, and subscribe for more gaming deep dives. The universe is full of hidden gems. Go find yours.